So we're going to continue looking at the most basic functions of the machine hardware. And in this video, we're going to start by taking a look at the duplicate function. Now, duplicate allows us to take a sound from one pad and copy it onto another pad. And we can also choose to duplicate the events that go with that pad as well to the new destination. So let's take as an example this hi-hat over here. So while we're in duplicate mode, if you hit a pad once, it'll start flashing. That means it's ready to be copied to a new destination. And now that sound is ready to be copied to the next pad that I hit. So you can see now up here in the top right screen, we've now copied the hi-hat from the first position up to the pad above it as well. So now I'm going to come out of duplicate mode. Let's take a look at the screen here. So you can see that the hi-hat is now on this pad here, which was the shaker. And you can see the old shaker pattern is still there. So what we did not do when we copied the sound was copy the events over as well. So that's why that original shaker pattern is still there. Now I'm going to undo that move by holding down Shift and pushing this first pad here, which is also our undo pad. And so now we're back to our lovely shaker sample here as we were before. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is copy a pad with its events as well, just to show you how that works. So let's go back into the duplicate mode. And this time I'm going to activate the plus events button. And this time I'm going to select the shaker, which you can now see on the screen there. And I'm going to copy the shaker onto the hi-hat pad. So as the shaker pad is now flashing, all I need to do is hit the hi-hat pad. And now the sound and its events will transfer to that pad as well. So that's really rather straightforward. What I'm going to do now is just undo that move and go back to the way we were before. And I'm going to come out of duplicate mode altogether. I'd now like to go into the navigate mode here and just show you how this works as well. Now, navigate gives us a sort of bird's eye view of the available parameters, depending on what we're focused on currently. And you can select these different parameters directly with the pads, so it's a very fast way to get around, especially if you have a lot of parameters available. So right now we're looking at the plugin. This is actually the machine sampler. So what I've done is selected the effects/filter parameters here. And now when I come out of navigate mode, it's taken me straight to those parameters on the sampler. And you can see here, it's also taken us to those parameters on the machine software. If I do that again, I come out here and go to LFO. When I come out of navigate mode, it takes me right to the LFO. Now, during live use in particular, navigate is very useful in conjunction with select. So I'll come out of navigate and go to select. And now what I'm going to do is select all. It's just a real quick shortcut to select all the pads here. I'm going to go to navigate. And I'm going to jump right to the filter again. And when I come out of navigate, I now basically have the filter control over all of those pads. And I did all that within just a couple of moves. So it's a very fast way to make a selection and then straight away navigate to the parameters you want to manipulate. Okay, so I'm going to go back to select, and I just want to deselect all of these and take it back to normal behavior. Now I want to show you the secondary function of navigate. So we were in what was called page navigation. I'm going to come out of that now, and we're going to be looking at something a little different. This mode here allows us to navigate around our project in a different way. So in this mode, the first encoder here lets us zoom in and out in the arranger. The second encoder lets us scroll around. Then on this side, we have the same thing again for the pattern editor. So we can zoom in and out. And we can scroll around. And from this mode, we can also show or hide the browser. We can show or hide the modulation lane. And we can minimize and maximize the mixer. So for that, I first need to actually bring up the mixer to show its effect. And now you can see that on screen there. Okay, so from here we can also activate or deactivate follow mode. So if we take a look at the pattern editor right now, you'll see that the pattern actually extends further than we can see. And so you see that the playhead actually just leaves the screen for a while. Well, if we turn follow on, it'll actually follow the playhead through the pattern, so we'll always see what's happening with the pattern. Now in this mode, the pads also double as magnification and scrolling. So up and down is to zoom in and out, and left and right is to scroll left and right. And the top set of controls controls the arranger, whereas the bottom set control the pattern editor. Okay, so there's now one more function of the navigate mode that I want to show you, and that is its shift function. So if you hold down shift and press navigate, it'll bring up your mixer on the software. Okay, so that concludes this session with Maschine. What we're going to do is take a little break, and then when we come back, we'll take a look at some more functions of the Maschine hardware. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you then.